What's going on, fresh takers? Happy Friday. It is good to be back with you guys. And today we get to review Alien Romulus. Let's get into it. All right. With Alien Romulus, I don't know how many people have heard about this. I do know that they were trying to do a pretty good job of getting basically notarized to get the movie out there. That was something I kind of discovered when I reviewed Trap, was that a lot of people hadn't seen it, and I had a lot of people tell me that they didn't see any trailers while they were watching live TV. I don't really watch a whole lot of live TV unless it's sports, and that's not really on just yet. So I did see that they were pushing a lot trailer wise for Alien. So hopefully you guys were aware of this movie. But this review is going to help you guys on if you should go see it or not. So let me start with saying this big disclaimer. I've never actually seen the Alien films. So from the first one to how many ever they made, I think they made like 3 or 4. Um, I'm not really sure, but I think Prometheus is technically in the Alien story. I'm not entirely sure if that counts. I have seen Prometheus, which was kind of really weird and I didn't get it. But disclaimer, I don't really know a lot about the Alien franchise. I know of it. Sigourney Weaver, amazing actress. I know her. I love her. I know she was like the OG of the Alien films, but that's is about as far knowledge I have. So just disclaimer, I don't know a lot about it, but I'm still gonna give you my thoughts on this particular Alien film. I'm more of a Predator fan. That's kind of where I go. I know they did a Alien versus Predator movie, which was not really that good, but I am more familiar with the Predator films. I like those better, in just my opinion. Nothing wrong with Alien, but I just like the idea of Predator better as far as a film franchise. If it is a film franchise, I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's start off with just saying the director did an amazing job with this. I know that this was not necessarily a reboot of the Alien films. It was more intertwined with what has already happened with the Alien movies. So to really pay homage to the Alien films that came before, but also give it more of a modern look at the same time, I think was amazing. I really did like how everything looked visually. Visually looked very beautiful. It looked how who can I compare this to? Kind of like Mandalorian. If you're a fan of Mandalorian, you know how Mandalorian, it looks modern, but it has that old school Star Wars feel. This is how that feels when it's pertaining to the Alien films, where it looks kind of that old school technology from the 80s, and because it's supposed to be intertwined with that story, you get that retro look, but it still looks modern. It looks cool. It looks amazing. So the visuals of this movie, just they knocked it out the park. I did like how they did a great job of mixing CGI with practical effects. I think that honestly is what Alien's supposed to be about. That's how they started with practical effects. So the fact that it's a lot more practical stuff mixed in with some CGI made it really look good, because it just made, even though the CGI can look really real, it's kind of fake, but some of the practical effects look even more real, and that just added to how visually stunning the movie looks. So it was a good time, definitely a good time there as far as being visually pleasing to the fans' eye. So they did a great job there. Shout out to that director. I actually found out the director for this film basically did the kind of like remake of Evil Dead from 2013. So he's got experience in kind of remaking some of the 80s and 70s movies to look more modern, and I really enjoyed that Evil Dead movie. So I can tell I like this director, and I will make sure to go out of my way to watch anything else he makes, because he did an amazing job here. So y'all know my biggest thing that I look for in every movie is, do I feel connected to the characters? And I gotta give Alien a round of applause. I instantly felt connected to the main characters. They did an amazing job of explaining enough to where it wasn't drawn out, it wasn't super boring. They gave us the information pretty early on of the background of the character and why we should care. And they got me hook, line, and sinker. I was rooting for the main character. So the main character, her name is Rain, and then she's got a brother, adopted brother, who is Andy. Andy's actually a synthetic, so he's artificial. So I'm not ruining anything for you guys with this, but basically, Rain's dad found Andy. Where they live is like a mining planet. So Andy was found by Rain's dad. He was basically like a decommissioned robot or synthetic. So he took Andy in, and then her parents ended up passing away from, I think she said lime poisoning or something like that. Basically, mining poisoning. We'll say mining poisoning because they're miners. So her parents passed away. Her dad basically gave Andy an objective is what's best for Rain. So the entire time, like, he's trying to, even though he's like decommissioned, basically like his software's kind of out of date, so he's a little off, but he's a sweetheart. Like, he's just super sweet, and they show their bond pretty early, and you just connect with that. And she's trying to get them off of the planet that they're on because it's just, they're being overworked and almost like they're enslaved in a sense. So she's working to get them off that planet. The planet they're on, the sun never rises at all. So she's trying to get them somewhere where they're going to be more happy. And you just instantly start rooting for them. So they did a great job of connecting you to the main character. They didn't have to explain too much, but they explained it right. They explained it early, and they explained it just enough to where you're like, okay, I got a good enough backstory, and I'm interested and invested in what's going to happen in this movie. That was a big thing that I talked about when I did the Twisters review, how you really didn't connect with the main character. And early on, she lost her friends, but you just weren't connected. She didn't do a great job of getting that across, and I don't think the script did a great job. But this here did a great job where I was rooting for them the entire movie. And that is what every movie should strive for. You want people to root for the main character from early on, like as soon as the movie starts. That is your main goal. Obviously setting up the story, but you want to make sure you get your audience connected. So they did a great job there. Now, as far as the actors in this movie, I really don't know anybody. The Asian girl, she was cute. I like her, but I don't really know these actors. So this was pretty cool as well, because it gave me a different aspect of me. It's like, okay, I don't know these actors. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if I enjoy their acting. And these young actors, I got to give them credit. They did a fantastic job of making you believe everything that was happening in the movie, and how their fear came across, how scared they were, and just every emotion that they had, you really believed it. And that is what you want. You want to believe what is being put in front of you. You don't want it to be, Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam. I'm sorry, but you don't want that where you're just like, I don't believe this acting could be way better. I just don't believe this character. So great job. Young actors that I've never heard of before, and I just was instantly connected. I really like Andy. You guys are gonna really like Andy if you go watch this movie. You'll like Rain. She was a dope character, but just something with Andy, you just really connect with him. And then they even did something cool with him kind of right before the middle of the movie, which gives it a nice little turn as well. So you guys are gonna enjoy this character connection. Now, here's what was kind of funny. So the two of the three male actors all all three of them had accents. Andy had like a British accent, but all three male actors had accents. And I can't remember his name, but he basically was the a-hole of the movie. His accent was so heavy I could barely understand what he was saying, and I was getting frustrated. And it was kind of funny because it worked. It was like not really under, like, he spoke English, but it was just a heavy accent behind it, so not understanding everything that he was saying, and he was being an a-hole. I was like, yeah, I'm rooting for you to die. Like, I want you to go first. And it just worked. It was kind of funny. I don't think they planned for that to happen. I just think he did, a good job with auditioning and got in. But when I tell you, I was not happy. I was like, this accent, I can't really understand what he's saying. I was like, yeah, he got to go. I was like, I'm sorry. It was like, he got to go. So, but no, they did a great job. Actors did an amazing job, and I would like to see them in some other movies, especially the supporting. Outside of Andy, I would like to see the actor that played Andy. I would like to see him in something else, and then the other um, male actor, I would like to see him in kind of like an action, because he showed a little bit of some action in the movie, and I would like to see him um, in something more action packed. So I'm gonna look at his name and see if he's in anything else. But I definitely liked his acting too. They did a good job. Now, I went to the movies with my brother. And I picked the right person to go with. Shout out to my brother. He's my number one supporter. I really loved going with him last night because he's a little bit of a scaredy cat with movies like that. And listen, Alien Romulus, Alien has never been considered, at least to me, a horror movie. I've always pictured this, I've always said it's more like a sci-fi, but they did a good job of giving you some tense, thrilling scenes, but also there were some jump scares in there. And I jumped a couple times, but my brother was stressed. Like, I looked over one of the jump scares, and he literally had his hand over his hat, like he was stressed. Like, I need this movie to hurry up. It was funny. It was hilarious. He had me definitely in tears because he was over the jump scares. But they did a great job with the jump scares. Like, you couldn't really see some of the jump scares. You didn't know when it was going to happen, which is great. I've always said this to you guys. When I can predict when things are going to happen in a movie, I lose interest. And this movie, and not really being familiar with the Alien films, was good. It played to my favor because I didn't really know what was going to happen. Even when I tried to guess, even towards the end, I was like, okay, well, this is probably going to happen, and this is probably going to happen. It didn't, which was a great twist for me. I really enjoyed that. So these are the things that I want you guys to look out for when you guys watch these reviews that I'm doing for you guys. That's why I try to put it out as soon as possible so you guys can go see it over the weekend or whatever. But I really want you guys to pay attention to those things like connection. Do you connect with the character? Can you start to predict what's going to happen? If you can start to predict what's going to happen, you probably will lose interest. Those are the things I want you to look out for. Is it visually pleasing? Did they do a good job of making sure that this movie visually looked pleasing of what they were trying to get across and portray? I liked the visuals of this movie. I've already talked about that, but that plays a huge part into how it looks and everything. If it's supposed to be this sci-fi intense thriller, you want the movie to look like that. You don't want it to look cheap or just bad or terrible or bad lighting, bad special effect. Like, that wasn't the case here. They did an amazing job. I'm trying not to give a lot away, but everything they did with the visuals and the special effects was chef's kiss. It was great. It was fantastic. Now, when it gets to the end, woo! There is a freaky twist to this movie that I nor my brother saw coming. I cannot tell you guys because it would be giving away a lot, but this is what I was talking about just a few minutes ago with predicting what would happen versus what actually happened, I was way off. I was way wrong, which I like. But holy crap, I did not know it was going to go that way. Like, you guys were going to be freaked out. I will tell you that right now. You guys are going to be freaked out about that ending, because it definitely freaked me and my brother out. Like, ew. Ew. But it was good. It was a good twist, though. It just was super not expecting. And here's what I love. I'm sorry. I gotta say this to the director. Even though my negative to this was, I do feel like the pacing slowed down when it should have been, like, once you got us to a certain pace and we're up there, I felt like it should have kept going, versus it does kind of slow down there for a brief minute. But they make up for it with that twist and that ending, because where I thought, like, okay, this movie's ending and, you know, this is what I think is going to happen, or, you know, cliffhanger, all that stuff does not happen. And they pace goes right back up, and you're like, oh, okay, so you guys aren't done. You know, even though I felt like the pace should have, you know, continue, just keep going with that pace. You know, even though I felt like that they made up for, you know, that small part of that pace slowing down. So that would be my knock, was just that small part of the movie where the pace slows down a little bit, but they make up for it at the end. So they did a great job there. So what I would say overall to this, I really enjoyed this movie, being that I've never seen the Alien films. Only thing I've seen related to aliens is Predator versus Alien, but that's, like I told you guys, I'm a Predator fan, so that's why I tuned in. But if I had to give this movie a rating, Alien Romulus, I'm going to give it an 8.8. They did a great job. With this movie. If they said they wanted to do another one and this director came back, I am butt in seat. I am watching. I really enjoyed it. So I really want you guys to go watch this. This is going to come out on Friday the 16th, and you guys definitely need to go see that. Make that a weekend plan. If you guys really like being in some, you know, intense thriller type atmospheres with your movie, this was good. If you like, you know, a little jump scare here and there, you're gonna like this. It's not something where you're gonna be screaming and jumping the whole time, but you're gonna have some moments where it gets you a little bit. So definitely go see this, guys. 8.8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. And here's something that I wanted to say to you guys. I love doing this. I love interacting with you guys, and this is something that's very therapeutic for me. Going to the movies, I love going to the movies. So making this whole process of going to the movies, seeing the movie, and then literally trying to do the review the next day and get this out as soon as possible for you guys, I love that whole process. This is therapeutic for me, and I didn't have the greatest day yesterday when I went and saw this, but seeing this movie and thinking about being able to sit here with you guys and do this review definitely helps. So to anybody out there that, you know, has some bad days, I hope that, you know, my reviews and the videos I do, the tier list, I hope those guys give you some sort of like peace or comfort, because doing this does that for me. You know, that's all I kept thinking about was, you know, going to see the movie and then doing the review and getting it out to you guys. So everybody that watches and supports, I really appreciate you guys. The interaction has been blowing up. I did not see this coming, to be honest with you guys. My tier list for Star Wars is about to hit 200 views. I've never hit 200 views on anything I've done. So that is because of you guys, and I really appreciate it. Every person that's interacted on my TikTok, my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I'm trying to give you guys some content to, you know, really enjoy. I'm trying to do the tier list between movies because I don't know how long. I think It's only been 2 weeks since my last review with Trap, which Trap, I really want you guys to go see that. Watch the review if you haven't, and then go see that movie. I promise you it was really good. And I don't know how long they're going to keep it in theaters, so you might want to go see that as soon as possible. But it was a great movie. But seriously, guys, thank you for the support. If you don't follow me, please follow me on Instagram. All of my links to my social medias are in the description. We just created a TikTok, so if you guys are on TikTok, please go follow me there. All the the clips for what I do, the reviews, the tier list, they're all there. And interact with me. I love interacting with you guys. If I see someone comment, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna comment, interact with you, because I appreciate that interaction. This is part of what makes it fun, is interacting with you guys. And huge before I end this, huge shout out to my friend Bree. Bree has no idea I'm doing this, but shout out to Bree. She is actually a part of the Fresh Take Cinema Show team. She's going to be behind the scenes helping out with the social media. So thank you so much, Bree. Shout out to her. I wanted to publicly thank her. I privately thanked her, but I wanted to publicly thank her and give her a shout out. So thank you guys for watching. Love you guys as always, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.